I grew my Instagram following to 330,000 followers. I grew my TikTok following to 450,000 followers. And I've grown my YouTube subscribers to, well, that's still a work in progress. But the point is that I've gained over 847,000 followers since posting in the past 4 years and make over $100,000 a month as a result of it. But realistically, I've only made progress in the last 2 years. And here's the thing, it wasn't about posting random reels and hoping to go viral. Every single post I made was part of a wider strategy. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 3-step strategy that I use to build this following and how it generates me over 7 figures a year in profit. Before that though, you're going to need some context on what I was doing before and what change I made to get to where I'm at now. Now, I never started creating content because I wanted to create content. Like many of you, I was a 17, 16-year-old that wanted to make some money online, and content creation just ended up being the path that I went down. You see, I found this business model called affiliate marketing that basically allowed you to talk about someone else's product or service, sell it, and when you sell it, you get a commission. And the easiest way for me to grow with that business model was by me creating content around these products that I wanted to sell in order to get a commission. Not because I wanted to be in front of a camera, not because I wanted to create content, but because I was broke and I wanted to make money any way I possibly could. But it wasn't until 3 months into posting content, promoting other people's products, that I finally understand what content creation was actually made of. And that's when I made the pivot. I made the pivot to stop creating content because I wanted to make money and create content because I wanted to build a personal brand. That's when I started to truly understand and comprehend the power of what a personal brand could be. And so I started taking content creation more seriously, and I was just making content about what I was interested in at the time, which was just finance, books, anything I could really get my hands on. And at the same time as making content, I started my marketing agency where I was helping other companies with content creation, and I started talking about it on my socials. People loved it, people got hooked, people wanted to find out more, and so I created like a course community kind of thing to teach other people what I was doing and how I did it. And at this point, I didn't really truly understand the power of a personal brand, but when I launched that community, when I dropped that course to my audience and told them what it was, and I made over 10K in 2 days from launching that course, that's when it clicked. That is when I truly understood the power of a personal brand, and I knew I needed to take it more seriously. That is money that I had never seen in my life before, from my agency, from brand deals, from affiliate marketing, none of it. And it's also when I truly comprehended the importance of a personal brand, not just a brand, but a brand around you, your meaning, your message, your interests, your hobbies, and your attitude, your personality. Because building an audience is fine, but it's not going to change your life. What will change your life, however, is building the right audience, building an audience hyper-specific, hyper-focused people. So let me jump into the 3-step process of how I actually grew my personal brand from literally nothing, from zero, no courses, no teaching, no mentors, nothing, to 850,000 followers, and also grew my business alongside it, again, from nothing. Let's dive into step 1. Now, step 1 is your content strategy. As I just mentioned before, you can't just create content for the sake of creating content. Otherwise, you do fall into that bracket of just being a content creator. You're just a figure who makes videos, puts it out there, and people interact with it. And if you actually want to make money with your personal brand, that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be to develop and nurture a specific, highly curated and die-hard audience. There's a book called 1000 True Fans that basically talks about the principle of having 1,000 true die-hard fans over potentially hundreds of thousands, and how much more beneficial this is. And the reason being is because if you have 1,000 true fans, 1,000 people that love you for you, they will buy anything you sell, they will take your word, they will jump off the cliff if you tell them to jump off the cliff. That is how you make a bucket load of money. That is how you can become a millionaire off 1,000 followers. So how do you actually get started with that? Well, step 1 is to actually identify a clear audience. Identify the person that you're actually talking to through this camera lens. Or before that, it's even understanding why you're making content in the first place. Are you making content to grow your business? Are you making content to find prospects for your business? Are you making content to talk to your younger self? Are you making content that you're just genuinely interested in? And for each of the different reasons of you creating content will result in a different outcome. You know, creating content for your prospects will grow your business. Creating content for the younger version of you will allow you to build an audience of people who trust you and you know like the back of your hand. Or just creating content for the sake of it means that you can't really do anything with the audience that you build around that kind of content. So whatever you do, don't create content just for the sake of creating content. Create content with a purpose. Create content when you're talking to someone specifically. Because if you have no reason for doing it, if you're not aiming for any kind of conversion, you won't get any kind of conversion. And the next thing to understand is what kind of content really delivers what kind of result, because not all content actually works the same. You know, you can have viral content, you can have educational content, you can have nurturing content, and each different piece will actually make the audience and the viewer feel a different thing and take a different kind of action. For example, a piece of content that goes viral is great because you get the awareness, but there's nothing that actually makes the viewer want to interact and want to follow and want to learn more about the thing that you've spoken about or understand you more, then it doesn't matter. Views on a screen, numbers on a screen mean nothing unless you're going to do something with those numbers, which is why I would always personally prioritize the nurturing content. Always prioritize the content where you are teaching your audience something. You are providing value to them in some sense where they know that they can learn something from you, because that time they actually have a reason to hit the follow, hit the like, save the video, and that in terms of the algorithm's viewpoint is a beneficial thing. So you want to make your viewer convey some kind of emotion, whether it's love, it's hate, it's shock, it's laughter, whatever it is. That's why a lot of really controversial content does incredibly well, because people get angry, and therefore when they get angry, they comment, they make noise, and as a result, the algorithm says, this is a good video, I'll push it out to more people. But obviously you can do it on the flip side of the coin. You can make people love and be happy and feel inspired and feel motivated. And when you're making this kind of content, you can't in the back of your head have an idea of how you're going to monetize it, because that shouldn't be your focus yet. That's step 2 of the entire process. The way that I personally see it, after I've been making content for 4 years now, is that your content strategy should look something like this. When you're starting to create content and you want to get eyeballs to your page, because you do need to get eyeballs to your page, you want to make top of funnel content, okay? Content that can attract as many eyeballs as possible, it's as applicable to as many people as possible, and this way you're capturing as many people into the funnel as possible. But you don't want to overload your own socials with this kind of content, because when you make top of funnel content, yes, you're attracting a lot of eyeballs, but those eyeballs mean nothing. They're not going to be diehard fans, they're not going to buy what you sell, they're not going to convert when you want them to convert. They are just people that saw, click, double tap and move on, which is where the next type of content comes in, the nurturing content. And that is, instead of this top of funnel stuff, you create the middle bottom of funnel content, okay, where instead of trying to attract everybody, you're now taking the people that you've already attracted and you're slowly squeezing them into something a bit more specific and a bit more niche. And down here is where the conversion happens. This is where you identify your 1,000 true fans, the people that will actually love you for you. And don't get me wrong, when you stop making this kind of content and you start squeezing it and making the content more specific, you'll lose a lot of followers. You will not gain as many views, but that's part of the process, because you can't do anything with this amount of eyeballs. What you can do is you can do things of these kind of people. You can convert these people, you can sell to these people, which is why you should always have those 2 types of content. The top of funnel content to get eyeballs, go viral, applicable to everybody. In my sense, this kind of content for me is the top 5 books I would read if I want to make money online. That is applicable to anyone that wants to make money online, right? It attracts so many eyeballs, it does so many views, and it's very, very top of funnel. Then the content I make to try and narrow those people down is where I talk about things specifically, hyper focus, and I convert people. And when you start to make this kind of content, that is when you're ready to actually monetize your audience, because you've identified people that are there for the long run. They're engaging, they're liking, they're commenting on your videos that aren't necessarily there to, make people feel good. Now, the biggest trap that content creators and people fall into when it comes to monetization is that they try and do it too early. I know so many people that start creating content and quite instantly think, what do I sell them? How do I monetize them? Let's get some brand deals. Let's do sponsorships. Doing that so early on will ruin any potential future growth to actually squeeze money out of your followers. So this is how to do it. Instead of making content and thinking to yourself, how can I monetize my personal brand? Think like this. Make content, identify problems that your audience has kind of made visible and has made clear that they have, create a solution to their problems that you've now identified through making the content, sell that solution. And that is exactly how I did it as well. I made content around finance and entrepreneurship and self-improvement. I heard my audience scream to me about, how do I make money? How can I live the life I want to live? How can I have freedom and flexibility? I heard their problems. I created a solution, this whole skill to profit program that I now have, and now I monetize and I sell that solution. You should never try and sell to your audience until you can clearly identify a problem that they have screamed at you, a problem that they have that they need solved ASAP. Because until you hear the cries of the problems that your audience has, they are not ready to be monetized. They are not ready for you to sell to them, which means that you're either not making enough content, your content isn't specific and hyper kind of focused enough, or the content that you're making is just shit. So please don't fall into that trap of trying to monetize your audience as soon as you generate your first 1,000, 2,000 followers. I didn't sell to my audience for the first 2.5 years of me making content. All I did was give. I gave and I gave and I gave value over and over and over again until I started to hear the screams of the problems of my audience. I know this sounds dramatic. I'm not saying I have to scream at you, but until you start to see frequent comments of them asking specific questions, until you have that, until you can identify that, you should not be creating any kind of program, any product, any solution to their problems until you know there is one. And that is your skill to profit framework. You have a skill, you identify the market that you can sell that skill to, you identify a problem that that market has in relation to that skill, and you create a solution to it. Until you have those 4 ingredients that you can kind of mix together, you don't have a business. There is no reason to try and monetize your audience. And then we move on to step 3. And this is where we talk about systemizing and scaling. Because now you would have a personal brand, and ideally you would have monetized your audience at this point. But now we've really got to think about the longevity of your personal brand, because trust when I say this, that personal brands don't last forever. One of the biggest benefits and almost compliments that I was always given when it comes to content creation is the fact that I'm still around. Now, I've been creating content for 4 years, and it's not a long time. You can look at some people and they've been doing it for decades, but the space that I was in on short form content, making it every single day, day in, day out, that is the reason I'm still here, because I found the systems and the methods to create content daily, consistently, every single day without fail, whatever the weather. Which is why I think scaling and systemizing is the most important part 3. Because the people that make it in this game aren't much better than everybody else. They aren't more creative than everybody else. They don't have the genes that other people don't. What they do have, however, is they have consistency. Day in, day out, they show up. And there's loads of ways that you can systemize or creating content, but the goal for you should be to be able to do it for a long period of time, right? So whatever you can do to make creating content for a long period of time more enjoyable and more kind of seamless, do that. I mean, a few ways that I do it, for example, to make the actual process easier is doing everything in bulk, right? So instead of just like scripting, recording and posting every single day, you know, which can take from an hour to 2 hours to do everything in bulk. So once a day, you sit down for an hour and you ideate, you come up with as many content ideas as you possibly can. 1 hour, you script everything, as many videos as you possibly can, maybe an hour, 2 hours. And then one day you leave it to recording. And then one day you do it to editing. Or if you are fortunate enough to be able to kind of build a team around you of people that can help you, you know, you start to outsource different areas of your content creation. So you can start to outsource editing, you can start to outsource ideating. Do make sure though, when it comes to creating content, that you do give it your special touch, right? You still have your unique touch within it, because you still are building a personal brand, okay? And a lot of trap that a lot of creators fall into that I see is that they try and outsource as quickly as possible, right? So they start creating content, they start seeing some success, and then they think, cool, I've got to outsource everything I possibly can. They outsource the ideating, the scripting, the editing. The only thing they do is a recording. When that happens, you start to create a disconnect between the personal and the brand, because you aren't doing everything here. Your magic touch isn't in all the areas of content creation that it needs to be. You're not doing all the individual things that requires you to put in your personality and your special touch. So don't fall into that trap of outsourcing everything, and then you find that you actually start to go down because no one's connecting with you anymore. There's no personal touch. I mean, for an example, right, I've been creating short form content now for 4 years. I don't have an editor for short form content. I do for long form just because it's more efficient, but for short form I don't have one, because I find that I can put a lot of my magic into the editing and what I do. And people would look at that and go, Jesus Christ, like I run a 7-figure a year business and I still spend an hour a day editing videos. Like that's going to be the most inefficient waste of time possible, right? And for some it is, yes, but I feel like if I do outsource my editing, I will lose that touch of that personal brand, okay? So make sure that when you start to systemize and when you start to automate things, don't disconnect it from the personality, but do systemize everything that you can and automate whatever you can to make your process easier. Because at this point, you aren't creating content, you're running a business. Once you've grown a following, you've monetized that following, you now have a business, and you've got to treat it as such. You've got to start to outsource to the people that can do it better than you. You've got to start to find ways where you can start to buy back your time and make things easier. Give yourself an easier life when it comes to content creation. And make sure that you start viewing it through that lens of this is a business now, because when you have your business hat on, you start to look at things differently, a bit more analytically, and that works a lot of the time with content creation. And in terms of the tools and the softwares and all this kind of stuff, it doesn't really matter too much. You know, people stress about the best equipment and the best tools and the best methods and all this kind of stuff. I know content creators that make millions and millions a year. They record on an iPhone and they edit on CapCut, on a silly little editing app on your phone. You don't need the best equipment in the world to make content, okay? What you do need is consistency. You need to be putting out every single day. And I also want to touch on the one thing that I made an absolute priority that I feel like allowed me to grow the audience that I now have and monetize them in the way that I now have. And it was where my focus was aligned. You see, my focus wasn't aligned on the vanity metrics and the views and the likes. It was when I got started, yes. And of course, you're human. You still feel a bit of a punch to the gut when your videos flop and they don't do well, but my focus has always been aligned on the audience. It's always been aligned on the viewer, the person that I'm talking to directly. Because even if I make a video and it doesn't get 100,000 views, it doesn't get 50,000 views, it gets 20,000 views, for example, but I know that the video I'm making is talking directly to my target audience, the person I want to talk to and end up converting, that is what matters. All of the vanity metrics, the virality and all the likes and the comments and the shares, that doesn't matter if you're not doing anything with it. So if your focus is not aligned on your audience and the pain points that they have that you can solve and make a business out of, there's no point in you creating content in the first place. And to be honest, when I started creating content, it was all about the money for me. It was all about trying to gain as many followers as possible to sell them whatever I wanted to sell them. But as I've grown on the platforms and as I've kind of developed as a person myself, my why has changed a lot. It's flipped around quite a lot. Instead of just trying to make as much money as possible, actually being able to impact the individual audience member, the individual viewer that watches my video, has become so much more fulfilling and so much more of a core driver for why I do what I do. And I think in result of that becoming my primary focus, it's actually helped me grow my business more. It's helped me grow my following more because it comes across extremely authentically. It comes across extremely natural. You don't almost see that I'm trying to sell something to you through the screen. You see that I'm genuinely trying to help you. I genuinely want to help you change your life. And when that happens, when your audience can see that you genuinely want to help them, they trust you far more. They'll buy from you what you want to sell to them. So although I know that you're here for money, you want to learn how to make money with a following, do focus on genuinely trying to help your audience. Focus on genuinely trying to help your viewers, because when you do, I promise you the next step is natural. And with being natural and authentic should come an element of transparency. And here's an example that I found on one of my videos that I posted, which wasn't a video that was optimized for virality. It was a video that was optimized to genuinely help people and see how I can solve their problems. And one of the comments that I got was, this guy has been so transparent that at this point he can basically sell me anything. And the reason I love this comment so much is because it shows that what I'm trying to do is working. When you actually try to help people, when you try to change people's lives at the core, as a result, money will start to flow your way. There's a good saying that says, help 1 million people and you'll make 1 million. Help 1,000 people and you'll make 1,000. Help 10 billion people and you'll make 10 billion. The more people you help, the more problems that you genuinely solve, the more money you'll make by default. So really put your focus into trying to change people's lives, trying to help people transform, become the better version of themselves, or get from where they are to where they want to be. Create the transformation for them. So now you know the 3-step framework that I use to build my following and monetize my following. And just to recap, step 1 being really build a personal brand. Build a brand around you. Share your authentic life. Share your story. Be as transparent and rip open the curtains as much as possible. When it comes to monetizing your audience, don't monetize anything when you don't actually get a cry for help in response. Until people are asking you to solve their problem, don't try and solve their problem, because you don't know what it is, and most likely you'll create a solution that isn't actually a solution to the problem that your audience has. And finally, you have to find a way to scale. You have to find a way to create content and systemize, create content at scale on a consistent basis. And when you can do that, you can outperform any content creator there is out there, any business owner there is out there. So here is your sign to get started. Start creating content, start posting your first video, start with a tweet if you're too nervous to get in front of a camera. But get in front of a camera, share your story, share your skill. And if you don't have any skills, learn a skill. Start talking about your skill. Start teaching other people the skill that you have and how they can learn it themselves. As a result, you'll hear their problems, you can create a solution to their problem, you can monetize your audience, and you can scale from there. And feel free to share your socials in the comments below and put a tagline of what you do, because most likely there are people out there that want to learn from you. They want to learn how you do what you do, and they want to hear your story. So start creating content. And if you want to learn how you can turn a singular skill into a business, whether it's through content creation or it's through building out a service and agency around it, I'm going to leave a link below to a 1-hour-long video course that's going to take you through absolutely everything. It teaches you the A to Z of how you can turn a singular skill into profit, and you're not going to want to miss out on that. So go check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.